Yeah.
Hello, good evening, guys.
Good
How are
evening.
you today?
Evening.
Yes,
Oh, I'm
good
good. I'm
evening.
good. Healthy, healthy.
Okay, that's good. So back with me again, Hansen. Now with my new headphones. Cool, right?
Very
Yeah,
cool.
man.
Yes, very cool.
Okay. Today, Prat ID will talk about an article that's called "Climate Plan: Indonesia Should Learn from Japan" from the AsianPost.com. Now, my friend Michael would like to ask a few questions to our members.
Wait,
Please,
man.
Michael.
Share screen, man.
Wait, man.
Oh, I forgot, man.
Yes,
Oh
We
speak
my
have to share
first,
God.
man.
screen.
Come on,
Oh my
man.
God,
Yes.
man.
So,
Don't forget the website, man.
so the audience could see our text, right, man? So they would
Yes,
know
yes.
what text that we analyze. Yes, people, this is our text. Climate Plan: Indonesia Should Learn from Japan. Written by Felicia Grace Utomo and I Dewa Made Raditya Margenta, 16 September 2021. Okay, Michael.
Okay, so uh for the first question is what is the topic of our text? The topic of our text is about what can Indonesia learn from Japan about implementing a carbon tax and emission trading scheme, or we can call it ETS properly. And then the second question is what issues are addressed. So we could know from the text that the issue are Indonesia still has a high use in GHG gases. And then the third question is what are the author's reasons for his or her statements or belief? So the author's reason is so that Indonesia can implement the two instruments that the carbon tax and emission trading scheme at the same time. However, those instruments should be well designed in order to not let them hurt the economy itself. And then for the fourth question, what conclusion does the author reach about the issues? Uh, for this question is for Emma.
Okay. So the conclusion we can see it is on the last paragraph. It says, in the end, Indonesia should be committed to its climate mitigation plan to meet both emission reduction and clean energy transition targets. So, in conclusion, the author just want to say that we got to follow Japan on, combining both carbon tax and ETS to, you know, do this climate mitigation, because if we keep doing the thing we did now, we can this large scale reduction in greenhouse gas emissions, warming to close 1.5 degrees Celsius or even 2 degrees Celsius will be beyond reach. So we gotta follow Japan on how they combine both carbon tax and ETS.
Okay, for the next question is still for Emma. The question is the author using facts or opinion?
So we can see here the authors use both facts and opinion. So like this one, the share of global emissions covered by carbon pricing initiatives. So this is a facts. They they pick it from World Bank, the source, you know. So this is not, it's not an opinion. This is a real facts. There's math behind it. So this is China, South Korea, Japan, EU, and others country. Then but not just facts. The authors also use opinions like this. However, Indonesia needs to issue a carbon tax first, given that it offers less administrative burden. But they state a opinion based on the fact that carbon tax is less administrative than ETS, like that. There's a
Okay.
both opinion and facts.
So he used facts and opinion, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. And then the next question is, what is the author stance? This question is for Hansen.
I'm gonna answer all the questions at once, Michael. So my first
Okay.
question is, what is the three questions?
Sorry?
What are my three questions?
Okay. The first question is, what is the author stance? The second question, what is the author's tone? And then, do you find fallacy bearish in the text?
Okay. Uh, to answer those questions, I'm gonna answer the questions. So, we can conclude from the article above that the writer's stance is to explain about the success of implementing the use of carbon tax and emission trading scheme, or we call it EMS, to press the increase of GHG emissions. GHG is greenhouse gas emissions, and from these taxes, we could use the revenues or the profit to fund green development programs. That is for the first question, the author's stance. The second question, the author's tone. From the text, we could know that the writer suggests Indonesia to implement these instruments to generate revenues from the carbon taxes and fund programs for green development programs, and also renewable energy and energy efficiency programs. So overall, from the text, we could know that the writer's tone is to persuade Indonesia to follow Japan by implementing these two methods, the EMS and the carbon tax emissions. And for the fallacy in this web, I could not find any fallacy in this web. All the data is based on facts, so there is no fallacy in this web. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Hansen. And then for Raymond,
Yes.
do you think the author shows bias?
Oh, bias.
Yes.
For me, yeah, I have to say yes, because the author shows bias to climate plan, right? Because he's trying to tell us about what he knows and his opinion as well.
Okay. And then, what is the author's purpose of writing the text?
I think the author is trying to tell us climate plan and what can Indonesia could learn from Japan, right?
Yes. Okay. And then question for Emma. Do you find language barriers in the text?
So for the language barriers, it's kind of hard to look for it in this website because it is pretty much a perfect English, you know what I'm saying? But I found this one ambiguous word. Which is Japan also benefited by generating US 2,365 million of revenue from a carbon tax, which is recycled to enhance renewable energy and energy efficiency development. So there's a word recycled. This is pretty ambiguous because are they recycling the money literally like the paper? I don't know, because this can took a wild turn for some people, you know. Or is they are they recycling the money paper, or are they allocating the fund to enhance and enhance renewable energy and energy efficiency development? So it's pretty ambiguous. It can lead to a few meanings. You can translate it into many new meanings, but kind of ambiguous for me. But the rest of it is pretty much, you know, good language. There's no any language barrier right here. So yeah.
Okay. So
Hey, wait,
not yet. Oh,
man,
okay.
one
Not
more,
yet.
man.
One more.
So
Patient,
the
bro.
last
Patient, bro.
question, yes, question. For the last question is for Raymond.
Mhm.
Do you agree or disagree with the author's opinion?
Let me ask you guys. I also need to know if you guys agree or not. Yeah. What do you
I
guys think?
agree. I
I
agree,
agree, man.
man. I
Yes,
agree.
I agree. Too.
You guys
This
all.
this this climate thing very important, right? Because you
Also,
know, for the
Yes.
future. Yeah, I
because
agree. I
Yes.
I
agree.
agree because as the author said, Japan can implement both ETS and carbon tax simultaneously, right? So why can't Indonesia do it?
Oh,
Yes.
deep.
If
Correct.
Japan can, Indonesia can, man. You know what I
Oh,
mean, right?
that's deep, man. You know,
Of course.
I know what I'm saying, man.
All right, all right.
Okay.
Cool.
Already finished,
Yo.
Michael? No more question?
Yes.
Okay.
No, no.
So we can conclude that from how many questions? 10? 12
12, 12.
questions.
12. 12.
Uh, it's quite unfortunate because I think Indonesia could produce more money from this carbon taxes and the emission trading scheme. Especially Indonesia has a lot of factories, right, that produce many GHG emissions that is bad for the
Yeah.
earth. Yes, I think
Even
that
homes,
yes,
buildings, you
even
know.
homes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, I think that if the government could use these two uh, instruments like the carbon tax and the emission trading scheme, Indonesia could be even could be better than Japan. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yeah,
We
Yes,
are
Because
we are
correct.
like
Indonesia,
right. That's right.
twice in Japan, man.
yes, because Indonesia
Yes.
has more factories and more pollution than Japan. That could from this pollution could produce money for us. Am I correct?
Yes,
Yes.
that's right.
Yes.
Yes.
Very.
And did you know that this carbon gas and this pollution is bad for the earth?
Very
Mhm.
bad.
And
Very bad.
you love the earth, right, man? If the earth is broken, where will we live?
Our sons, man, our
Yes.
sons and daughter, man.
Yes. We have to
Yeah.
press the use of these GHG emissions, and we have to start using more renewable source of energy like the sun, the sunlight, and the wind, like that, man. We should stop using like carbon
Fossil.
fossil fuel. Fossil
Hmm.
fuel is bad for
Fossil
the earth, you
fuel.
know.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, yeah. So I think we have reached the end of our what our meeting, man.
Mhm.
Discussion.
Discussion, the end of our
Podcast,
discussion.
podcast, man. What the hell, man?
Podcast,
Oh, yeah,
man.
Podcast.
podcast. The end of
Oh my
our
Not meeting,
god.
podcast.
man.
New headphones,
So,
man.
Yes, you
so
can close the share screen, yeah.
yeah, we could close the share screen.
Yeah.
So, I think overall this article is good, man. It could
Yeah.
motivate us to do better for Indonesia, right?
And there's no
Yes.
fallacy,
Okay.
right? There's no
No,
Yeah.
fallacy.
no,
Perfect.
perfect,
Mm-hmm.
perfect. Okay. So I would like to thank Michael, Emma, and Raymond for the time so we
Yes.
could all discuss together in this podcast.
You're
Thanks
But
to
welcome.
you too, man.
eventually, yes, thank you,
Yes.
man.
You too, man.
Yeah.
So, but eventually we have reached the end of our podcast. So, see you guys later on our next podcast. Have a good evening and thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.